What drew you to the project and behind the camera again for a feature film?
I mean, I've been trying to do feature films in the last 15 years. Um, but I've been busy as an actor and with life. And, but this film, when it came to me, the script was so beautiful. I loved the character of Beth. I loved all of the callers that, were so rich. And I loved the humanity of Alessandra's script. So when I read it, I just wanted to be involved.
And about the script, Alessandro Cameron's script, which is beautiful by the way, it's a pretty universal story. It feels like it could take place anytime. Was it, I have a curiosity about it, was it written after the pandemic burst, or was a pre-realized script or subject? Because I think it works with the pandemic situation, but generally speaking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure when he wrote it, but I imagine it was during lockdown.
Yeah.
But as you say, I don't think it is, it deals, some of the callers deal with the effects of the pandemic or COVID, but that's not what it's about. I think these issues of, mental health issues and loneliness and depression, or going through a tough situation, economically or spiritually, they've been with us a long time, and maybe the pandemic brought everything more to the forefront. And I view Beth as an essential worker. I think what she does is really important. And so it was so wonderful to have a film that really celebrates the work that she does and the connection that she's able to make, with the callers. Sometimes she doesn't make a strong connection, but she keeps trying. And that's another thing I loved about her, was that she never gives up.
You might think this is a movie about the pandemic situation, but as you just said, it's not. It's really about human condition.
Yeah.
And it's about loneliness, a condition we sometimes have to fight in our life. Beth listens to other people's problem for almost the entirety of the movie.
Yeah.
But in the end, it comes out, as the human nature requests, that she also needs to be listened to. Do you think that one of the main theme of the movie is to learn to listen to others people? Do you think this is a problem of our society today?
I do think listening is very important, and because of technology and because of that everybody now has access, and they seem to feel that they have to speak louder, to be heard. But listening is equally, if not more important. And I think the way that Beth is able to make a connection with people is by really listening and really getting them to speak. We do learn her personal story later in the film, but it's in service to the caller, that she feels at this moment she needs to reveal a part of herself to be able to reach the person that she's talking with. And the person she's talking with is Rebecca Hall. It's an amazing scene, and Tessa and Rebecca and the whole cast were just incredible.
And about the cast, of course, Tessa Thompson is the unique leader on the screen. How did you choose her, and how was working with her?
Well, I saw her first in Westworld, and then I started to check out the films that she was in. She was our first choice when we were thinking of casting. She said yes, and then it was just, well, all right, now we need the money, and we have to. She's so busy; it was hard to find a break in her schedule. She's just so fantastic. Every time I see her performance in the film, I discover something new or different. And then the cast, Tessa and I talked about it, each caller and a number of actors. And we were very careful about, well, if this actor plays this role, then we should get somebody different for this role. And so that was a little tricky, but in the end, I'm so happy with the cast.
And about the rest of the cast, I was curious, technically, the invisible cast, so to speak. How were the phone calls recorded? Were they? I don't think they were live on set. They were pre-recorded.
Sometimes they were live on set. If an actor, was in LA where we were shooting it, and they could come to set, they were just in the next room. so that she could really hear them and act with them. Some of the actors were not in New York, and so we tried to do a phone call, like a real phone call. Some of the actors weren't available when we shot it, and so we had a male and a female reader on set so that they could just do the off-camera lines. So it was really, mixing and
So sometimes
mixing it
Tessa
up.
had to react live, and sometimes she had to act on pre-recorded phone calls.
Not pre-recorded. She was always reacting to somebody live on set. If it wasn't on the phone call or if the person wasn't in the room, we had somebody reading the off-camera lines.
One last question. You work with some of the greatest directors of our times, Scorsese, the Coen brothers, Tarantino, and many more. As a director, what did you learn from these great masters throughout the years, and what did you bring on the set for this new project?
All the wonderful directors that I've worked with, and they each have their different styles of how they make films, but the ones that I really love are the ones that create an atmosphere on set where everybody wants to do their best work, where they're encouraged to bring ideas and to be a collaborator. And so that's what I try and do when I'm on set. Just everybody's contribution is important. Knowing that I have the final say of how we do it, or what idea gets implemented. But I like to be very open and just work with everybody, because we're all there for the same reason. We want to make the best film that we can.
Thank you, Mr. Buscemi.
Thank you.